Hi friends, today we are back and we're going to talk about the aging process and what I have found to help more times than not. Very rarely do I meet anyone who is not concerned with looking older than they would like. It is very, very common, even with people in their 30s and their 40s and sometimes even in their 20s as well. So, as we've been talking about all along, healthy skin starts within. How we're hydrated matters. How we nourish ourselves, it matters. How we stress, how we sleep, our hormone balance, all of this goes into consideration when it comes to the aging process. The sun, a number one factor for aging more rapidly than we should. But I want you to know that we can do a lot when it comes to the aging process. We really, really can. So as we've been doing throughout the course of this 30 Days to Great Skin, Healthy Skin and Beauty Reboot, we have been cleansing our skin properly, because if we don't have clean skin, the ingredients we put on next are not going to penetrate and they're not going to do their job. And many of us use products that are meant to contribute to aging more gracefully. We are exfoliating, clearing the clutter, getting rid of the surface dead skin cells, because a buildup of the surface of the dead skin that contributes to a dullness and extra splotchiness and makes the fine lines and wrinkles more apparent. So we're getting that off. We're also doing that because it's going to give us a nice bright glow. When the skin glows and is radiant and light reflected, it translates to the human eye of another and ourselves of a more youthful appearance. So all of these things truly do help to make us look younger longer. Using the hyaluronic acid in the liquid hydration is very, very helpful at plumping up the moisture making cells and plumping up a lot of the fine lines too, so we look more youthful. If you didn't know, you can put it over your lips. If your lips are starting to look a little crinkly and a little older than you like, that is really helpful for the lips as well, and right up underneath the eyes. But there is more that can be done. Yes, there are laser treatments, there are very strong peels, there are radio frequency and ultrasound and all sorts of technological advancements. There's injections, there's facelifts, there's surgery, there's filler, there's so many, many things. But the vast majority of the people who come to see me for help with their skin, they want a more natural approach. They at least want to try aging more gracefully on their own before they invest in the discomfort of and the cost of more aggressive procedures. So what I have found over the just about 15 years of working with skin are some very tried and true gold standard methods of making a big difference when it comes to the aging process. So staying out of the sun, we know that's key. Nourishing ourselves from within is essential. But nourishing ourselves from without, from the outside, is essential too. It can make a very big difference. So in addition to staying hydrated topically, I have a lot of people infuse their skin with topical vitamins, particularly vitamin C. My Nourishing Vitamin C Serum is amazing at helping to plump up the fine lines and load up our skin with antioxidants, which we talked about in week 1. Antioxidants protect our cells from environmental damage and from the stressors and from all these little icky things called free radicals that want to steal the good parts of our healthy cells. So vitamin C internally is awesome, but externally it is too. So that's really helpful. I also have people, when they want to look younger, start fading their discolorations. I don't have them change their natural skin color because I don't feel that is something we need to do. But if the skin is uneven, splotchy, there's brown spots and discolorations all over, we work towards fading those, because discolorations in the skin actually absorb light. It doesn't make the skin reflective. And when there's dullness in the skin, because the brown spots are absorbing the light, the skin looks more flat and dull, and the unevenness makes us look more aged than we actually are. Now those brown spots can come about from so many different factors, and we're going to talk about discolorations in another video. But by evening out the skin coloring, the skin tone, and having it be more even, not just our faces, but this whole area, this whole thing shows in the backs of the hands too, focusing on those areas and blending all the sun damage away really helps the skin look more radiant and more glowy, not greasy, oily, but just like glowy and healthy and a lot more youthful. So that's really helpful. The next thing we do is to work towards rebuilding and strengthening the collagen and the elastin, the support structure of our skin that helps keep it nice and firm and youthful. So how I like to do this is through the use of ingredients called peptides. Peptides are like amino acids or little proteins that strengthen our skin cells, and they strengthen the collagen and the elastin. There's lots of different peptides, but I have some favorites. And the reason that I like to use several different kinds at once is because they work in different ways. They help keep the skin strong and more flexible and more youthful, but through a few different mechanisms. So I have a few peptide creams, my Ultra Lift Cream Extreme being the most firming and lifting of all of them, the most full of potent peptides. I have a lot of people who use a peptide cream to lift up the neck or to smooth out the eyes or just everything. And they're like, just, you know, lift me all up and bring it back where it used to be. Peptides can be incredibly helpful. The type of peptide is important. What it is put in is also important. I see tons of peptide creams and a base of kind of bulky, the bulk of the product that actually contributes to clogging in the pores. And so I'll see a lot of people who are concerned with clogging and breakouts using a peptide cream that contains ingredients that clog them up, and they're just constantly battling breakouts and wrinkles and breakouts and wrinkles. So you want to make sure that if you're using a peptide cream that's in a base of ingredients that aren't going to cause other problems. So peptides are important. Something to keep in mind about peptides: they are not inexpensive. They really are not. They're some of the pricier ingredients when it comes to treating your skin. However, effective formulations work really well, and within a few months, and no, not days or weeks, but within a few months, because it takes a few months for our collagen to liven up, to strengthen, and for us to produce new collagen. Within a few months you can see a difference. So usually I say, if by the end of someone's first bottle of Ultra Lift Cream Extreme, they're not feeling like they see a big difference, then it didn't work for them. But I don't have people say that, because the right kind of peptides work really well. And you don't necessarily have to use them forever. You can kind of use them consistently initially until you get the smoothing and the firming and the lifting, and then periodically they're off after. But know that there are things that do really help, peptides being one of them. Something you can do internally, again, that supports your collagen and your elastin production is to supplement with vitamins and amino acids. So we know that when somebody is a smoker, I'm not saying you're a smoker, but we're going to use this example. When somebody is a smoker, they deplete themselves vastly of vitamin C, vastly, and the amino acids proline and lysine. And we know that smokers look way older than non-smokers. It's common knowledge. It can be seen anywhere. So there have been studies that show that by flooding the body with vitamin C and the amino acids proline and lysine can help to strengthen the collagen and elastin, just like depleting the body of those things can contribute to the look of the aging process. Now there's more to it. There's all the toxins and the tar and all of that stuff too, but that's where healthy nutrition and healthy skin from within comes into play, because really making sure that we have the proper building blocks to build new, young, healthy cells throughout our life is important if we want to age more gracefully. It matters. It really does. We can't just eat whatever we want and age very little. I mean, really, we have to be diligent about it. Our food is not as nutritious as it used to be in our grandparents' day. It is more depleted, and we're more depleted. And so making sure that we fuel our bodies particular ways can give us kind of a leg up and more of an advantage in that regard. Something else that works really, really, really well, but I talk more people out of doing than into doing, is the use of an at-home treatment It is called microcurrent, and it is a device that emits a current of energy and it deposits it into the muscles of the skin. So something that not a lot of people realize is that sometimes the aging process is right here in the surface of the skin. The spots, the unevenness, the kind of crinkly texture. But if they're like, oh, I feel so old, and it's like because the skin is hanging down, and when they come to me and they say, Breanna, I just want my face where it used to be, that's when I know it's actually the muscles underneath the skin. It's the muscles that have gotten lazy and worn out over time that are causing the look of the aging process too. So, just like all of us know people who work out and don't work out, the people who work out and the people who lift weights, they lift weights and their muscles get super toned and tight and firm. And every time they do those bicep curls, every time they do that, what's happening is they're stimulating their muscles. And I'm getting a little sciencey here. They're stimulating their muscles, and what will then happen is there's a chemical reaction. A chemical called ATP is released. That ATP causes all sorts of things happen, and in a very short amount of time, they get firm, toned, tighter muscles because of the stimulation that took place. So, we can't lift weights with our face, and we know making the expressions that we make all day, every day actually contribute to the look of the aging process and the lines and the wrinkles. That's not going to help, but what we can do is we can stimulate the muscles in the skin to release that ATP, to cause those chemical reactions to then lift and firm and tone and tighten the muscles of the face. And it works really, really well if you do it. And that's why I don't have everyone do it. I actually talk a lot of people out of doing it because they'll sit on their bathroom counter and they'll curse my name every time they look at it because they'll say, oh, I spent that money and Breanna sold me that thing and it's not working. Well, it's not working because they're not using it. But the people who do their microcurrent treatments and they do them regularly, they can transform their skin in a very short amount of time. Now, the younger and the healthier and the more hydrated a person is, the better this works because you need to be hydrated for the current to conduct. And obviously, when we're healthy and we're young, our bodies are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kick into gear, I'm gonna firm up, I'm gonna make more collagen. So that's why that happens. But in some people, within 1 or 2 treatments, they will notice a huge lifting and affirming of their face. The first time I did this treatment, I had it demonstrated on myself, and we just did half of my face, and I went home that night and my husband said, are you okay? What is wrong with you? And I looked in the mirror and this eyebrow was about one finger width higher than this eyebrow. I hadn't even really looked, but it really lifted things up. I was very receptive to the treatment. Some people don't get that much firming right away. Some people, it takes them doing 3 to 5 treatments a week for a couple of months before they're like, oh yeah, that really worked. But just like going to the gym, some people can go work out a few times and with muscle memory, their body is just nice and firm and tight again. Others, it takes a while and they have to be consistent. And so that's kind of how it works when you stimulate the muscles of the face. But if you do it, it works really, really, really well. I have done professional treatments in my office of microcurrent, and the gadgets are large and they can cost $10,000, and people need to come in once a week or so at $100 a pop to really get the look that they're going for, and that's a lot. And so I made it my mission to find something that was small and affordable and that worked and that wasn't a major hassle for the practitioner, being me, or the person using it, being you. And I tested out a bunch of devices, and the one that I liked best is the NuFace Trinity. And this is the one that I sell. Now, the NuFace Trinity has 2 models. And I know this is going to seem like infomercially and it's not meant to be, but it just works really well and I want you to be informed. So there's 2 models. There's the NuFace Trinity and then the NuFace Trinity Pro. I do the Pro now because it's available now. It has been for the last few years. The reason for the Pro is because skin pros, skin professionals like me, can use stronger devices. So the original device has 335 microamps. So just like hertz and volts and wattage. Microamps is the current that's measured, that is conducted through these two metal spheres. So the original is 335 microamps. The Pro has 400, so quite a bit more, so it's a lot stronger. The regular one has 1 year warranty, the Pro has 2. They cost the same though. So it kind of makes sense to get the stronger one with twice the warranty for the same price. You can get the other ones all over the place. I don't recommend you get them online because NuFace, the company that makes them, does not warranty anything sold online. Usually there are people selling them and they shouldn't be selling them online. So know that if you go on Amazon and you get one and it's broken, and I've had people come to me and have this happen, you're out of luck. So keep that in mind. But the NuFace Trinity Pro, it's small, it's easy, it takes, the mini treatment takes about 5 minutes to do. The company says to do 5 times a week for 60 days, and then you can kind of back off and do maintenance. I have an advanced treatment that takes 20 to 30 minutes, and for those who are highly motivated, highly motivated, you can do that as often as you like. So some people will do the 5-minute treatment most of the days and then add in the advanced treatment once or twice a week. I've had people do the advanced treatment every single day and in a month come back to see me and I'm like, what did you do? Did you go get Botox? What did you do? And it was just being really diligent with working out their face. So it's possible to make big changes with the use of targeted ingredients, targeted treatments, but you just have to use them and you just have to do them. The beauty of this is it gets everything lifted up. And it also comes with a little, you can get it with a little teeny tiny attachment to get right up under your eyes and to lift your eyebrow and lift your eyelid up. A lot of people are concerned with crinkly skin up on the eyelid. So when it comes to looking younger, longer, or preventing the signs of the aging process, or delaying getting facelifts, or delaying getting Botox, or weaning off of getting Botox, this is what I have people do. We exfoliate, and how we exfoliate can vary. We can do in-office peels, at-home peels, topical exfoliators at home, retinol for some if it's appropriate. We get those layers off and we stimulate the collagen. We hydrate the skin. We flood the skin with nutrients and peptides. That's really helpful. And for those who are really motivated to look younger and look younger quicker, we do the microcurrent, and it makes a really big difference. And you can do it while you're reading a book or returning your emails or watching a show. Once you get in the habit, it's really easy to do. You just have to get in the habit. And for like most things, if you're kind of wanting to look younger, you're probably not going to do something. But if you really want to look younger and you really want to prolong your youthful looks for as long as you can and you're motivated, taking little steps every day, every few days, every week, you know, for the long haul, making it part of your life can make a big difference. And I'm not here saying that anyone who looks more mature, there's anything wrong with that. Or if you just don't care and you don't want to reverse the signs of aging or slow the signs of aging, that there's anything wrong with you. How we look truly doesn't matter. It's how we feel. But I do know that when people start to feel like they're looking older than they'd like, it affects their self-esteem. It takes a toll on how they present themselves because they're kind of a little like, I don't really love how I look, and so their inner glow is kind of dampened. And if that, working on your mindset and accepting it and knowing that it's totally okay, and I'm going to take really good care of myself and that'll help, and make sure I'm fueling myself well and that'll help, and you get more energy, and you can do some things to help externally boost your confidence if it's bothering you, then these are your options. But if it's not bothering you, you don't have to do anything about it. But those are my tips on the aging process and what to do. They have worked for so very many. There's a lot of gimmicky gadgets, there's a lot of gimmicky treatments, and way too gimmicky products out there, way too many. And so if you need help navigating the world of graceful aging products, and I call it graceful aging because I don't like anti-aging. We're gonna age. We're going to. Let's not fight it, because that's just stressful. So So let's do it gracefully, as easily as we possibly can. If you need help with that, I'm here for you. It's kind of one of my specialties. So let me know how I can help. I'll see you soon.